Hi, good afternoon and welcome. My name is Maria Barada, and I'm the Associate Director of the New Jersey State Library Information Center. I'm joined today by Deborah Mercer, our New Jersey Documents Librarian, Cynthia Lambert, one of our law librarians, and Terry Taylor, our U.S. Documents Librarian. We also have our Training and Outreach Librarian, Andrew Dauphiny, here to help us handle our webinar logistics. We want to thank you for attending this session, and we also want to thank the Center for Cooperative Media for asking us to present. So let's get started. Here's the names of the people and their offices here at our state library. We're going to overview a number of things today. What we will cover is an introduction to the state library, New Jersey documents and other state resources, legal research tools, United States documents and data sources, research guides that are also known sometimes as LibGuides. We're going to go into brief detail on libraries in New Jersey, some historical societies as well, and the New Jersey State Archives. We won't be covering resources or services that might be available only if you're on site at our library, and that would include most of our subscription databases. We also won't cover detail about any particular library or a collection within a public library or a particular institution of higher education. And we really won't go into any specific commercial or fee-based services. I'd like to give you a little mini history of the New Jersey State Library so you know who we are and what we do. The State Library's origins date back to 1796, so for more than 200 years, it has been the official repository for state government documents and serves all three branches of state government by assisting employees as they go about the business of protecting and forwarding the state's interests. In addition to providing research collections and services to state employees, our library also provides limited research services to New Jersey residents. In 1996, the State Library became an affiliate of what is now called Thomas Edison State University. So we also provide research assistance and support to the students, staff, and mentors of the university. In addition to the many resources that we'll share with you today, we do encourage you to explore the local public, academic, and special collection libraries near you. There are a host of databases and resources available to both library card holders as well as visitors. And some of these resources you can use both at home or in the library themselves. So there's so much to pursue and find beyond in your local library, around the state and beyond. I'm going to hand off now to Deborah Mercer, our first presenter, and she's going to talk about New Jersey documents.
Thanks, Maria. The State Library is the official repository for published state government information. We've been collecting state government documents since the colonial period, though at that time most of what was published was legal in nature. These are the types of items we collect: reports, directories, statistics, newsletters, minutes, and hearings. State publications need to be distinguished from state records, which are not published and refer to internal memos, working documents, etc. And they're collected by either the New Jersey State Archives or Records Management within Treasury. In the State Archives, you'll find governor's papers, vital records, and other records of enduring historical value that relate to New Jersey. Records Management's record storage in the Department of the Treasury is a centralized facility for storing semi-current state agency records. These records are not available to the public directly. In other words, you can't go to or call the storage center and ask for records. The request always needs to come from the agency. State, municipal, and county agencies retain records according to a records retention schedule. By looking at the records retention schedules, you can discover what types of records are being kept and for how long. Our major users of state publications are judges and lawyers, using them to try to discover legislative intent. If you've ever used them, the Senate Journal and Assembly Minutes, you'll have noticed, are records of actions, and unlike the Congressional record, don't record speeches or discussions. In order to try to discern what's meant by a particular law, lawyers and judges often look for hearings or reports relating to the law. Graduate and undergraduate students are often big users of our collections when they're writing papers or doing data research. Citizens and non-profits might look at older agency publications and legislative material if they're fighting for or against an issue. Fracking has been a big issue very recently. And as our collection forms a history of state government, state agencies use our collections to look at evolving state policy. The State Library has items both in print and digital format. The best place to start to look for our documents is in our library catalogue, as we have thousands of print documents, most of which have not been digitized, but we also have a state publications digital library that we're rapidly expanding. I'm sure as journalists you're familiar with libraries and library catalogues, so I'd just like to point out that in addition to the usual title, keyword and author searches, we have a special New Jersey subject keyword which searches just on New Jersey collections. You can also use the item information column to link to similar subjects when you've found something that you like. But if you need to be very comprehensive, search both New Jersey subject keyword and the subject keyword. Over the years, we've tried to collect 3 copies of every New Jersey item, 2 of which are for loan and 1 is for reference. So if you see that we have more than 1 copy of a New Jersey book that you're interested in, you can ask to borrow it via interlibrary loan from your local public library or come down to Trenton and check it out directly. If we have a digital version of a document, there'll be an electronic resource label and a link to the document that says handle. Clicking on that link will take you to the metadata for the record, where you'll find the file. We now have over 32,000 items in the repository, which includes new publications sent to us by the department and agencies, documents we've been collecting since the early 2000s, many older series and annual reports that we've scanned. These include Governor's State of the State speeches, many 19th and early 20th century annual reports, things that are on demand. We digitize them because people need them. This could be a 1947 hearing on railroad taxation or an energy study from the 1970s. It all adds up to a very eclectic collection, so don't be surprised at what you find. You can get to the digital library from the State Library homepage. Once you're on the digital library homepage, it shows you recently added items. You'll see that we have 2 top-level communities, Jerseyana and New Jersey State Publications Digital Library. These mirror our 2 major New Jersey collections. Jerseyana is anything about New Jersey published by private publishers, so novels set in New Jersey, local histories, geography books, travel books. The State Publications Digital Library has items that are published only by the state. All of the items we put into the digital library are full text searchable. The column on the left is always present from every screen and always has the search box, which will search the complete site, whichever screen you're at. You'll notice on the home page for the New Jersey State Publications Digital Library that each department and branch of government has its own subcommunity. Agencies, commissions without a departmental home are listed under agencies, commissions, authorities, etc. The search box in the center of the screen always searches within the community, subcommunity or collection that you're in. This is very helpful in limiting results. Here's an example. If you remember, Governor Christie tried to eliminate the requirement to publish legal notices in newspapers. We can find out his declared reasoning for this by navigating to the State Publications Library, then going to Office of Governor, then to the Chris Christie Community, and then to the press release collection. You can see the breadcrumb at the top of the page. You can then type legal notices in quotes, otherwise the search engine looks for both words. You'll then get 4 results. Clicking on the file will bring up the full text. If you do the same search on the home page, you get 235 hits. The Governor Christie statements are at the top, but the rest are mostly board meeting minutes where they state that they're in compliance with the Sunshine Law. If you need to combine terms, be sure to use the "and" capitalized. If you use lowercase, it searches for either word. Using the capitalized "and" tells it to search for both terms. It's a little old school that way. Our digital Jerseyana collection is not as developed as our state publications section. That's because much of what we have is also held by large collections like Harvard, Princeton, and New York Public, who've already done massive digitization projects. While we have a well-developed local history collection, local libraries and local historical societies are really a better place to start local history research, as their collections have much more depth than ours. New Jersey is a home rule state after all. So if you're looking for local information and want to contact local libraries and historical societies first, the New Jersey Digital Highway has a good list of New Jersey libraries, archives, museums, and historical societies. And that's a great place to start to find out what's available. This brings me to the end of this section. I'm going to hand you off now to Cynthia Lambert, one of our law librarians, and she'll talk to you about legal resources.
Thanks, Deborah. Hi, everyone. As Deborah said, my name is Cynthia Lambert. I'm one of the 4 law librarians here at the New Jersey State Library. We're a full-service law library and available to help you with your research or legal questions, either in person, via telephone, or email. However, today I'm going to discuss with you finding legal resources while we're not open. So I'm going to concentrate on New Jersey legal resources. My colleague Terry Taylor will follow up my presentation, and she will discuss federal regulations. And at the local level, I will provide a link in the slides for you as to how you can access that information. But it's very specific to each local community, and in New Jersey, that's quite a number of specifics to go through. So the law is one subject that really has a lot of information available for free and easily accessible. So we'll jump right in. The primary source for all things legal in New Jersey is going to be the New Jersey Legislature's webpage. Here you'll find a complete searchable database of all the statutes, all the chapter laws for a number of legislative sessions. Chapter laws are every law that is passed in any individual legislative session. They start with chapter 1 and continue sequentially, generally. And so you can look up anything that was passed in any given legislative session number. You can see all of the bills that are pending in any legislative session. You can see copies of the Constitution. And here is, as I said, where you can find links for federal laws and also for information on finding local laws and local ordinances here. So you can use those links when we get there, but we're going to go straight out to the legislature's webpage. So here we are. There's a plethora of information here, but we're going to focus both on this large yellow box here, which is your primary navigation, and as well as all the navigation tools here on the far left of the page. In the center, you'll get just a brief overview. You'll find out what's happening on any given day. For example, today, the Budget and Finance Committees are meeting. Here is the schedule for them. You can watch proceedings live or part of the archive. Drive. And one thing that I want to point out is down here at the bottom, you can set up an account and subscribe so that you can get email notifications whenever there's any action on a particular bill of interest to you. So, for example, if you were interested on gun control, you would look at up the bills and put them in your list, and every time something happens on that specific bill that you've selected, you'll receive an email that directs you directly to this website and what changes have taken place or what actions. It's not necessarily a change. All right. Over here in this yellow box, this is going to, as I said, be your primary searching tool when you're looking for things on this website. I want to first note the legislative session. This box is going to determine where all your search terms in any of the other boxes look. So currently it's set for the current legislative session, but you just click on the down button. And as you can see, this goes all the way back to 1996, 1997 legislative sessions. If you need information on anything that happened before that, you'll want to get in touch with us while we are open. We'll be happy to help you find that information. All right, you can search by bill number if you happen to have the bill number, although most people aren't walking around with that kind of information in their pocket, so I'm going to go back to that. You can search by sponsor. By clicking on the pull down, you'll see all the names of the legislatures. I'll use my Senator Kip Bateman here. You hit search, and this is all of the legislation where Senator Bateman is the primary sponsor. If I want to see where he's co-sponsor, we just click here. These are bills that are either have passed or are pending in this legislative session. If you want to change it, as I said, you do that at the beginning, back at the yellow box, the large yellow box. You can also search by keyword. And when you put in your keyword, you simply hit search, and it brings up anything where that word is in the bills. If you want to look for a phrase, for example, texting while driving, you'll need to put that information in quotations so that it picks it up as a phrase as opposed to each individual word. Here is where you will see a number of bills that are of interest to you, and over on the left-hand side is the actual bill numbers. If you want to see the full text of what and information that's happening, you click on that number, and it brings you into a landing page for that specific bill. In addition to keyword searching, you can look to see what happened in the legislature on any given day. So for example, we'll go to April 29th here and see what happened. These are the bills that had action on them for that date, that specific date. You can change that date, and as you can see, there's the pull down menu gives you all of your options for that. You can search for governor's action. You can see if the governor has approved, given an absolute veto, a conditional veto, a line item veto, a pocket veto, or if he has not given any approval. Nothing's happened here. You can use all of these search terms and these search boxes you can combine them to really drill down to the granular level for what you're looking for. So that pretty much covers this area. One thing that I want to note is when we did a keyword search, I'll do it again so you can see. You'll see the A1348 is one of the bills here. If you only put in bill number 1348, you'll see that two different bills come up, one which does have to do with your keyword search and the other does not. You need to be sure to add the A for Assembly bill or S for Senate bill because the numbers are not exclusive. All right, now looking at the navigation down the far left side of our screen here, this is very powerful. In the beginning, you have your general information about the state house and the legislative process and our legislators. You can use this very handy Find Your Legislator, which is a great item for people if they don't know who their legislators are. And you have a lot of other information. I'm going to focus on this section called Laws and Constitution because that's where you'll find the most information on specifics. First of all, under the Constitution section, you'll see that there are complete texts of the New Jersey Constitution. Under chapter laws, these are the laws that I was telling you about. It's just simply a sequential ordering of every law passed in any individual session. As you can see, it's broken down by each session. If you want to see what's happened so far in 2019, you click on that and you'll see PL 2019 Chapter 1 is what came from Senate Bill 1036. And if you click in that, it gives you an entire layout of this bill, what's happened, who its sponsors were, what its identical bill in the assembly was. And then this section is very important. This provides you with a complete timeline of everything that happened with this particular bill from its introduction right up to the signing. So it tells you, for example, in this case, that it was introduced on January 16th and referred immediately to the Senate Budget and Appropriations Committee. If you're wondering what the Senate Budget and Appropriation Committee had to say about this bill, the section right below it provides you with all of the statements, copies of the bills. Everything can be accessed in either PDF format, where you can easily email it to yourself or others, and the HTML format. And at the very bottom, you'll see is the voting record on this bill. So it provides every bit of information that you could possibly want, or just about every piece of information that you could possibly want about this particular law, which is Public Law 2019, Chapter 1. All right, and then the other really powerful tool over here on this left-hand side navigation is the statutes. When you click on this, it takes you to a fully searchable database of the current statutes of the state of New Jersey. In here, you can keyword search. I'm going to put in texting while driving since I use that as an example. And I'm going to put those words again in quotation marks so it takes it as the entire phrase. It brings up 3 laws, and actually what we want is the use of wireless telephone, electronic communication device in moving vehicles, definitions, and enforcement. And here you'll see that within that law is the words texting while driving. If this law had other related laws to it, you can use the navigation tools up top here to go to the previous document or the next document, and these are just a sequential ordering of the statutes here. You can also see over on the far left-hand side, there's a bit of a breadcrumb trail telling you that this is part of Title 39, the Motor Vehicles and Traffic Regulations, and then showing you where your particular law that you're looking at. Had we had the citation for this, which the citation is right here for the 39.4-97.3, you can also search by specific citation. When doing that, again, you have to use quotations. Otherwise, the search engine looks for each individual number separately. And you need to type it in exactly as it appears with the colon and the dash. You hit enter, and that again pulls up the law that you are looking for. These are, as I said, all of the current statutes in their entirety. At the bottom of every statute, you'll see a small breadcrumb trail that tells you what year and chapter number the law was originated in. I call this the born on date. And then it also tells you any amendments that have happened since it was first passed. In this case, the law was first born in 2003, Chapter 310. It was amended in 2007 by Chapter 198, and then again in 2010, Chapter 40, and 2013, Chapter 70. So this has been a law that's been amended a number of times in a very short period of time. Some have been around for a long time and never amended. This little breadcrumb trail gives you the history of the law, which is very helpful. All right, so let's get back here. As I said, the Legislature's webpage is got the bulk of the information you need, but there's a lot of other places that we can also look for legal information. In addition to statutes, a large portion of the laws in the state of New Jersey are considered regulations, and they're part of the New Jersey Administrative Code. These rules and regulations are also available to the public, and along with the code goes the New Jersey Register. When an agency or department proposes a rule, they have to publish the proposal in the New Jersey Register. A period of public comment time is given, and then once the rule is adopted, it is published again in the New Jersey Register. So whenever you're talking about the New Jersey Administrative Code, you'll also probably hear references to the New Jersey Register. They do work in conjunction. I'm going to click here. This takes you, the link I gave you takes you to this launch pad here, which gives you a live link to both the code and the register. If you click on the code, you'll see that it pulls up, it takes you out to Lexis, and you will have to accept their terms and policies, terms and conditions. You should, of course, read all those. I'm going to pretend like I have already. And here is the administrative code for you. It's very easy to navigate in this format. As you can see, each title is listed there. There's a plus sign next to each one. When you click on that, it opens up and shows each chapter. If you click on any individual chapter, you can see that it also opens up further. And then you can pull up any of the information that you want simply here. Not unlike the statutes, at the bottom of any individual NJAC regulation, you'll see a complete history of that law. These are very, very helpful, and within that history, you'll see references to the New Jersey Register. It'll either say New Jersey Register or it'll say NJR, and that's why, as I said, these two things work in conjunction. If you want to fully understand them, you'll want to look at both sections. In addition to the actual formal laws, there's a lot of other legal information available in New Jersey. So I'm going to take you out to the New Jersey Attorney General's office webpage for their library. Here you can find a great deal of information. First of all, I want to note that on the left-hand side, there are all the various departments that are under the purview of the Attorney General's office. And it is through this website that you can find information, for example, for the Alcohol and Beverage Control, or for the Juvenile Justice Commission, or Highway Safety. Each one of these departments and agencies also have their own library pages, which is located here over on the right-hand side. In the center, under library, you'll see all of the information that's available from the Attorney General's office directly, including their official opinions, orders, and guidelines, annual reports, and statistics, as well as a list of all the publications that they have put out. Also, just to point out for you that they always highlight a publication right underneath it, and currently what's being highlighted is 2018 year in review, which sums up what has happened at the Attorney General's office during the year 2018. There's a lot of information here, and it's a great place to start if you're looking to find out information on, for example, election law enforcement or the highway traffic safety. It's a great way to begin, and then within those you'll see citations and references to the New Jersey Administrative Code or the statutes, and then you can go back and look up those specific things. All right, let's come back here to our presentation. Excuse me. The other really big repository of information for New Jersey laws is the New Jersey court system. And this, I point out, has a great deal of information for civilians trying to navigate the court system. It's got a really great self-help center. In addition, the rules of the court can be found on here. That's a very important set of rules that you need to follow in order for anything to happen within the courts. You must follow the rules. Rules of professional conduct for attorneys are listed here, and also it gives you an overview of not only the state courts, but also the county courts as well. You'll see when we go out there. So I'm going to take you out there to their website. May 1st is National Law Day, and the court always has something right here in the center about things like National Law Day. They have a page dedicated to it, and Chief Justice Stuart Rabner has also given some speeches, a speech about it. You can find that kind of information there, but this area is things that change all the time. What you're most going to be interested in is both the Self-Help Center, the Attorneys tab, and then of course the public and the media, since you are the media. I'm going to start with the Self-Help Center. This is the section that really helps people to navigate. As you can see, you have an introduction on how to use it, and then it breaks it down: family division, municipal division, tax court, civil division, criminal division, superior court. And under each one of these, there's a great deal of information to be had. What is of most interest to most people when they come here are the forms and instructions for how they can navigate the system. and also the general information on a topic. For example, here click on divorce, and you'll see a number of items come up that talk about divorce and divorce laws and in New Jersey and the process of getting a divorce in New Jersey. Under the Attorney tab, I point this tab out to you because there's a lot of information here that is important both about attorneys and for attorneys. The most important thing that I want to point you to is the Rules of Professional Conduct. This is a document that provides all the regulations that attorneys in New Jersey must follow. If they break any of these rules, you can report them, which is the tab right before that. As you can see, the Office of Attorney Ethics, you would report them to the Attorney Ethics Office. This is probably the area that we send the public to most often, so I think it's important. You can also find out information here, though, about Supreme Court committees. The Supreme Court committee reports can be found here. Schedules and calendars for the courts are out here in this area. Rules of court, rules of evidence are also out here. So it's got a lot of information that is incredibly important when you're doing things in the court. And then finally, I want to show you that it has the overview of all the courts. As you can see here, there's links for every single court in the state at the county and higher level. And you can find out a great deal of information on those. For example, you know, the address of the courts, the chief clerks, what judges are presiding in these, what they offer, what they do, and most notably contact information. So it's a very handy section for you. And finally, the last part of my presentation, I wanted to talk to you about a legal resource that is much more designed to help individuals who are having issues, you know, with the law in New Jersey. Legal Services of New Jersey is a nonprofit organization that provides free legal assistance to people who cannot otherwise afford it. I'm not here to talk necessarily about that portion of what they do, but one of the things that they do is they produce a number of publications on topics like divorce, domestic violence, tenants' rights, or clearing your record that are written in layman's terms and really incredibly good. They are some of the best resources for figuring out and understanding what you need to do with these various topics. So I'll take you out to their website. They have offices throughout the state. Here in central New Jersey, the office happens to be right down the street from us on West State Street as well. And if you go to their publications page, this is where you really unlock the important information in this resource for you. As I said, they have created a number of resources, a number of publications that are available, most of them for free, that help people to understand what they need to do. Tenants' rights in New Jersey is particularly good. They have, in many of their publications also are in both English and in Spanish, so it's very, very helpful. You can have, they're just updated their Divorce in New Jersey, a self-help guide, which is great. It was updated in 2019. They have a great guide on how to, including all the forms, and how to expunge your record if you're interested in that. So it's an incredibly powerful resource that is available, and again, really helpful for putting things in layman's terms as opposed to being written for lawyers or for the courts. I'm now going to turn this over to Terry Taylor, who is going to talk to you all about U.S. federal documents. Thanks again for having me. We'll take your questions.
Thank you, Cynthia. My name is Terry Taylor. I'm the U.S. Documents Librarian at the New Jersey State Library. The New Jersey State Library is one of 24 federal depository libraries in the state of New Jersey. The most important thing to know about federal depository libraries is that they will have a librarian who can provide expert assistance in accessing federal government information. Federal depository librarians will help you locate information, whether it's historical, current, in print, or in electronic format. The Government Publishing Office's Federal Depository Library Directory will help you find the New Jersey Federal Depository Library closest to you. Here is an example of a directory entry for New Jersey's Regional Federal Depository Library, the Newark Public Library. The resources I will talk about today are Congress.gov, CRS Reports, GovInfo, the Catalog of U.S. Government Publications, Census.gov, and USA.gov. Congress.gov is the official website for U.S. federal legislative information. The site, which is published by the Library of Congress, provides timely and complete legislative information. Content ranges from 1973 to the present, which is the 93rd Congress to the 116th Congress. Key features of Congress.gov are its bill public law profile pages, the Congressional member directory, and its alert feature. Congress.gov bill and public law profile pages make it very easy to track legislation. Legislation or bill profiles include bill summary and status information with full text for bills, resolutions, and amendments. These legislative profiles also include full text access to reports associated with the bill or public law. This is an example where you can also provide access to, where you can also check out the roll call votes on this public law. Another useful Congress.gov feature is the ability to get alerts on the status of a bill or get alerts on the activities of members of Congress. This example shows that I signed up for my representative in the House, Robert Norcross. I chose the alert button, which results in email messages sent to my inbox about his legislative activities. When I open up my email, it's going to provide more information and a direct link to the Congress.gov profile page. The action for this is he's a co-sponsor for House Bill 95. Another Library of Congress resource that can provide a wealth of information on a wide range of topics and legislation is the Congressional Research Service. The Congressional Research Service provides Congress with nonpartisan policy analysis. CRS analysts, legislative attorneys, and information professionals prepare reports on legislative issues. Similar to the research reports produced by the Governmental Accountability Office and the Congressional Budget Office, CR reports are written to be timely, nonpartisan, authoritative, and objective. In 2018, Congress passed a law, Public Law 115-141, the Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2018, directing the creation of this site and ending the legal requirement prohibiting CRS from providing its products to the public. The CR Reports database is based on the same search functionality that Congress uses. The site is designed to be as user-friendly as possible, allowing reports to be found by using common keywords. If you want to browse all of the reports, just hit the Enter key and you'll see a list of all of the available CRS reports. Whether you search by keyword or browse, you can filter search results using the faceted limits in the left-hand column of the results page. There are several content types currently available in the CRS Reports database. The R series, which is the main content type that populates the database, provides in-depth research analysis. Reports run from 20 to 30 plus pages long. Another type of report you'll find in the database is the In Focus report, a 2-page executive level briefing document covering a wide range of policy issues. Insight reports are 2 to 7 pages, short form analysis on fast moving or focused issues. And finally, 2 other items that appear in the database are legal sidebar documents, 2-page reports by the CRS legislative attorneys, and transcripts of CRS testimony before Congress. Established in 1861, the United States Government Publishing Office, also known as GPO, provides permanent public access to federal government information at no charge through the Federal Depository Library Program, GovInfo, and the Catalog of U.S. Government Publications. The GPO's primary information dissemination program involves a partnership of approximately 1,100 federal depository libraries nationwide, including the 24 New Jersey federal depository libraries. Today, the partnership is predominantly electronic. The majority of government publications are distributed in electronic format, but tangible formats are still distributed. For example, the state library still receives congressional legislative materials in print. The GPO's GovInfo website provides public access to more than 1.5 million searchable titles linked through GPO. The website acts as a preservation repository for federal information from all three branches of government. Various GovInfo titles, like the Code of Federal Regulations, the Federal Register, and the statutes at large, include the GPO's seal of authenticity, which means the document is unaltered and complete. What's available? Legislative, executive, and judicial publications, featured commission reports or special reports like the recently released Mueller report, and directories of organizations and officials. GovInfo allows you to search information in several different ways. You can find publications by citation, basic and advanced searching, or by browsing. You can browse by date, by the government institution that authored the publication, or by the category of government information. Similar to other databases, results can be modified by faceted search results features in the left-hand results column. Here's an example of browsing by category. The category is bills and statutes, and then bills in the 116th Congress. This is a view of browsing House Bill 1. I can view every version to date. The latest version of the bill can be seen here. It moved to the Senate calendar. And this is an example. In the upper left-hand corner, you can see the GPO seal of authenticity. In addition to GovInfo, the GPO publishes the Catalog of U.S. Government Publications. The Catalog of U.S. Government Publications is the finding tool for electronic and print publications from the legislative, executive, and judicial branches of the U.S. government. The catalog, which is the national bibliography of U.S. government publications, contains descriptive records for historical and current publications. Key features are the direct links to online content, a new titles page, multiple search options, and a locate a library feature. The catalog's homepage provides a link to the Federal Depository Library Directory, which I mentioned earlier, and it also has quick links to available search fields. The new titles page is an easy way to see the latest items that have been added to the catalog. You can view new titles by format, such as print documents, electronic documents, or ebooks. This is an example of a record that provides access to electronic content. The catalog record is for the U.S. Bureau of the Census's American Fact Finder data portal. Internet access comes in the form of a persistent URL, also known as a PURL. The catalog record PURL takes me directly to the American Fact Finder homepage, which is the portal of U.S. Bureau of the Census Statistics. American Fact Finder is currently the destination for access to census products like the American Community Survey and the economic and decennial censuses. While we're looking at American Fact Finder, I want to point out that there is an announcement about a new census resource. The American Fact Finder is migrating to a new platform called data.census.gov. Starting in July, data.census.gov will be the primary way to access Census Bureau data, including upcoming releases from the 2018 American Community Survey, the 2017 Economic Census, and the 2020 Census. I recommend checking out the new data portal. and letting the census know what you think. They need your feedback to make improvements. Census.gov is the official website of the U.S. Bureau of the Census, which is the federal government's largest statistical agency. All current census products are accessible from the Census.gov website. Census.gov is also the place to find out the latest on the planning and implementation of the 2020 census. There is also a 2020 census web page that provides information about what is new with the upcoming decennial census. For example, on this page, you'll learn that this will be the first decennial census where survey questions can be answered online. And finally, I want to show you the federal website I call Government Google, the USA.gov website. USA.gov is produced by a division of the U.S. General Services Administration. This site's mission is to create and organize timely, needed government information and services and make them accessible to the public. I use USA.gov to locate hard-to-find federal information that is often buried in federal agency websites. USA.gov also provides quick links to government programs, services, and agencies. And also, USA.gov only searches federal, state, and local websites that are for the public. A simple keyword search on the topic of vaccines, for example, provides a link to a website I might not know about. A website by Health and Human Services devoted to public information on the topic. And finally, entering the keyword black hole provides a good number of relevant search results. USA.gov also allows you to search for images. The images that you'll find on USA.gov are going to be public domain. And you can also search for videos. Again, it's a source I use similar to Google for quick results. I recommend checking it out. This concludes my brief introduction to available U.S. government information resources. And now I'm going to turn it back over to Maria Barada.
Thank you, Terry. I'm going to talk a little bit about research guides, also known as LibGuides, and a little bit about historical societies in New Jersey. Because libraries like ours, or even other academic or large public libraries, have so much content within their collections, and that includes both print and digital content, many offer curated subject guides to help users narrow in on their resource interests, especially related to major topics. We call our subject guides research guides, and as I said, other libraries call them LibGuides. And I'd like to just encourage you to explore our research guides because there's a lot here that you may find interesting. A few that I want to point out to you include our African American History in New Jersey Guide. This includes a lot of links to both state documents, historic documents, government reports, and other details that are unique to New Jersey. So you'll see there are tabs here that indicate some of the resources, and just kind of tooling around here, you'll find a lot of things that will be of interest to you. As a shout out to those of you in the media, we have a fact-checking and media literacy research guide. Again, we include a number of resources for people, including fact-checking services. I'd like to just point out this crash course navigation, navigating digital information, has a really nice series of YouTubes on helping people understand both how to look for fact-checking resources and how to consider general digital information and its validity. I'm going to go back to our... we also have our genealogy research guide. If you're looking into information about an individual, whether it's for genealogical purposes or general research purposes, our genealogy resources are excellent. There are a number of webinars that you'll find here. There are New Jersey resources. There are handouts, a number of places for you to go, how to find information from New Jersey County offices on individuals and public records related to individuals. We also have a very popular LibGuide or research guide. It's the New Jersey Digital Newspaper Project. This guide indexes digitized New Jersey newspapers, and it is organized, as you can see, alphabetically by county. And then within a county, you'll find it's indexed by the cities that publish newspapers. And then it'll also tell you what the newspaper title is, its date of coverage, whether it's freely available or whether it's something that's through commercial access only. This LibGuide gets a lot of research, or gets a lot of use throughout the state. It's been very popular since we launched it. I also want to point out our Votes for Women LibGuide. This is something that Deborah's been working on in preparation for the 100th anniversary of women's suffrage. This guide offers an extensive look at the suffrage movement in New Jersey at that time. And there will be more content added to this over the coming year. So you may want to come back and check on it regularly. One last item I want to point out on our research guides section is we have a to Z database guide. This lists all of our databases in our library, and it includes freely available content as well as the fee-based stuff. But if you are using our resources remotely, you can see that we have 84 free databases listed here. So it's a really great way for you to find out a lot of these are government resources, but some of them are also some commercial products. But it's a great place for you to go to start your research if you're not quite sure where to go. I also want to point out that there are LibGuides available at other universities. And I'm just going to give you 3 examples here from New Jersey. Montclair State University has its own LibGuide or series of LibGuides. Again, these are curated by the librarians there based on the subject interests of the people within their school or university. Rutgers University has a large collection of LibGuides as well. This takes a while to load because there's quite a number of them. And you'll see that they're also, you can sort them by the types of guides, by subject. And you'll find that each of these, you'll find that there are, for example, in some of theirs, History of North America, there's 18 guides within that section. So there's quite a lot of information within these resources. Princeton University is another one that you can go to freely and look at what the resources are there from their LibGuides. Again, broken down by topic or subject area. So I want to do a little plug for public and academic libraries. Our website includes a page with directories of New Jersey libraries. And I just want to point this out to you. You can check out the libraries in your area to see what databases, digital collections, research guides, e-books, or e-resources are available to you, either for on-site use or remote use. Now you'll see that we have a list of New Jersey public libraries here. There's also a list of the public library or the academic libraries. Oops. You'll also find there are a listing of the college and university libraries and Rutgers University library collections and departments. As well, you will find that there's also a map of New Jersey public libraries in that page. Finally, I want to point out that there are many local historical societies around the state. They offer a wealth of local history, usually in print or microform, but some are now growing digital collections. If you're looking for histories of a local institution, maybe a church, a school yearbooks, whatever, you may want to make a trip to a local historical society or call them in advance, see what's available there. And it can be worth your while to go there. This is the League of Historical Societies of New Jersey, and it's a pretty basic website, but lots of places to go for this local history. And it's a good place to start when you are doing some research into a town or an area for a piece of work that you're writing about. So after today's program, we hope you take every opportunity to explore the services and features of libraries throughout New Jersey, and maybe even some beyond New Jersey. We want to thank you for attending today's webinar, and if you have any questions, you can reach out to us. You can see our names and our email addresses are here. If you reach out to us, we'll respond to you promptly to the best of our ability in answering questions you may have. Our email addresses are here. The library's phone number is on our website. And we thank you for sitting in with us this afternoon, and thank you for your time. Goodbye.